studies like this happen all the time. And it's additionally weird. When you got a guy like RFK Jr., who is a recipient of testosterone replacement therapy, something that he openly admits to, by the way, is running around in this administration that is actively making TRT and other kinds of hormone replacement therapies less safe. We cannot, under any circumstance, allow these morons to decide what kind of medical research seems silly or inappropriate. What the hell are we doing? What are we doing? That is so crazy. Another funny thing that JD Pondon did, of course, is obviously this one. Hold on. As you guys know, the Department of Government Efficiency, also known as Doge, is doing a fire sale on all of these federal properties, the properties of the federal government owns. And it's a really stupid thing to do because this is like incredibly expensive real estate that they're just selling off willy-nilly. A very, very stupid thing to do. But in the process, it has gotten even dumber. JD Pondon and his team over at Doge, in an effort to sell off federal properties, inadvertently exposes CIA black site in Northern Virginia. That's right. My goat, my king. They're doing the damn thing again. This is the type of stuff that makes me genuinely think that they have nothing going on in there. They're just like breaking stuff. They're shaking the trees to see what falls, you know? Some stuff are slipping through the cracks, obviously, in the process, and they just kind of bandage it later on. But it's very obvious that they're not competent. It's very obvious that they're not remotely interested in you know, doing this kind of like deregulation in a way that makes sense, in a way that is still stable, relatively stable. Because deregulation is always going to cause instability down the line. Having said that, however, the way that Democrats and Republicans both have played this game is by hiring competent auditors to make these assessments, to work to reduce the federal workforce, things of that nature. Like, this is a long and convoluted process. Trump, on the other hand, is like, nah, I don't care. Just take it out, kill it all. Who cares? And whenever there's any aspect of the chainsaw that actually fires back at us while we're ripping through the administrative state, we'll just rehire them. That's it. Trump puts new limits on Elon Musk, ladies and gentlemen. The president convened his secretaries with Musk to clarify power. It's beginning. It's happening. President Donald Trump convened his cabinet in person on Thursday to deliver a message. You're in charge of your departments, not Elon Musk. According to administration officials, Trump told top members of his admin that Musk was empowered to make recommendations to departments, but not to issue unilateral decisions on staffing and policy. Musk was also in the room. The meeting followed a series of mass firings and threats to government workers from the billionaire Tesla founder, who helms the Department of Government Efficiency that created broad uncertainty across the federal government and its workforce, as you guys know. That's what Doge does. Doge's actions have faced ferocious resistance in court and criticism from Democratic lawmakers and some Republicans. It also has been an unpredictable force, a mallet that is picking apart the administrative state and doing so in the silliest ways possible, constantly lying to the American public about where these massive cuts are coming from, like actively lying to the American public, saying like, oh, we cut $8 billion here. Oops, turns out it was just $8 million, not $8 billion that you cut. You know, things of that nature that they keep doing over and over again. A lot of the lies that Donald Trump has also championed, like the transgender mice thing that he talked about, apparently in the state of the fake State of the Union that he did. Yeah, it turns out, first and foremost, transgender mice and studies conducted on transgender mice or trying to make mice trans probably yields a lot of medical benefits. That's just how medical research works. We've talked about this quite a bit. But it turns out it wasn't actually trans mice, like as in transgender mice. Okay? It was, from what I understand, transgenic mice. However, White House has since then doubled down on this issue, claiming that everyone else is lying. Here's Nicholas Christakis posting a Rolling Stones article on this. The man is an idiot. Trump claimed Biden spent $8 million making mice transgender. The White House tried to back this up with records of funding research into cancer, asthma, and HIV, some of which used transgenic, genetically modified mice. To be clear, some of these studies did involve cross-sex hormone experiments, and that is fine. Specifically, the grant amount, $532,000. Purpose, use a mouse model to investigate the effects of cross-sex testosterone treatment. Context. The study likely involved administering testosterone, a male hormone, to mice to study its physiological effects, potentially in the context of understanding gender-affirming hormone therapy or related biological processes. The use of cross-sex suggests examining how hormones typically associated with one sex affect mice of another sex, which is common in endocrinology research to model human conditions, including those related to transgender health. Now, it's not even this study in and of itself doesn't exclusively focus on the impact of trans medical care. Studies like this happen all the time, and it's additionally weird when you got a guy like RFK Jr., who is a recipient of testosterone replacement therapy, something that he openly admits to, by the way, is running around in this administration that is actively making TRT and other kinds of hormone replacement therapies less safe. Okay? That's it. We cannot, under any circumstance, allow these morons to decide what kind of medical research seems silly or inappropriate. What the hell are we doing? What are we doing? How do we get here? How? I mean, we're back. This is like George W. Bush era stem cell research shit, okay? You're making trans rights a political issue? What? It's not even about trans rights. This is not about trans rights or trans wrongs. This is just about medical research. I am not a scientist, and neither are you, even though there are some researchers in this community, okay? And as someone who is not a scientist, who understands the limitations of his brain, okay, I will always repeat that there is a very good reason for why this kind of research is conducted. And I hate that people have completely lost sight of the concept of critical thinking and just go, that study sounds stupid to me. Cut it. Here's the health research from the New York Times. It says Rolling Stone has it wrong. There have been quite a bit of National Institute of Health funded research that has used animal models, including mice, to assess the impacts of cross-sex hormone treatment. Trump was wrong to claim that these studies were meant to turn the mice transgender per se. That would require that mice have the humanoid cognition to have gender identity in the first place. The Washington Examiner recently published a 9-page list of animal model research of cross-sex hormone treatment. It was compiled by the White Coat Waste Project, a nonprofit that opposes animals in research. Benjamin Ryan is the health and science reporter for the New York Times, NBC News, Washington Post, The Atlantic, Guardian, New York Sun, cancer survivor. The same thing happened after Trump's debate with Harris. Liberal media outlets presumed it was so bonkers that she would support taxpayer funding of ICE detainees to get gender transition surgery. They didn't bother to fact check it properly. She did support this. ACLU teased this out of her in 2019. Yeah, the irony, of course, is that you know who else supported this? The transgender bottom surgeries in detention facilities. Donald Trump. That's right. Donald Trump also, under his administration, allowed these kinds of medical procedures to take place. It makes no sense not to. It is marginal. It is inconsequential. It is insignificant. It's medical treatment. Okay. If you have prisoners, you have to offer them medical treatment. You can't just like decide that nope, they're less human. Okay, they're subhuman. Not going to give them any sort of medical treatment whatsoever. Anyway, the real question is whether there should be animal model research to study the impacts of drugs that many transgender people already receive. Republicans decry the lack of solid safety data on the pediatric gender transition treatment, and yet they seek to cancel studies that could address the dearth of knowledge. So that's the thing. The reality of the matter is there are numerous studies conducted on animals. There's a lot of animal testing that takes place. Some of it is on cross-sex animals, okay, to figure out the impact of hormone replacement therapy. But hormone replacement therapy doesn't just help trans people. You're a moron if you think that hormone replacement therapy is only for trans people. It's not. It's for cis people as well. I technically take a form of hormone replacement therapy because I take Propecia for my hairline. Okay? RFK takes TRT, testosterone replacement therapy. That is hormone replacement therapy. It is incredibly important to continue studying the effects of hormone replacement therapy for everyone. Okay? I don't like that these people are just across the board anti-science and they go, oh, there's a trans mice involved in it, so I don't like it. Okay? They will legislate it away for trans people specifically like they're doing in Texas right now. It doesn't. My point is, once again, these people that hyper focus on trans people thinking that they're doing something to dominate trans people, they fail to recognize that this harms cis people. There are more cis people than there are trans people. A lot of, if not all of the anti-trans legislation ends up impacting cis people as well. Estrogen is, the most used prescription for E is women with menopause. Exactly. Or young girls that have issues with that. Like it's like birth control, contraceptives, different kinds of hormone replacement therapy that cis women and cis men use at every point in their lives. Okay. It is idiotic to think this is just exclusively dominating trans people. There are more cis people than trans people, and there are a fuck ton more cis people on HRT than there are trans people, myself included. Okay? But getting back to Musk, because this is one aspect of the Doge cuts, just simply flooding the market with a bunch of lies and expecting the idiotic audience to receive this misinformation gladly, and then continue running their mouths about these different forms of medical research. Musk joined the conversation and indicated he was on board with Trump's directive. According to one person familiar with the meeting, Musk acknowledged that Doge had made some missteps, a message he shared earlier this week with members of Congress. Trump stressed that he wants to keep good people in government and not to eject capable federal workers en masse. But his administration has in recent weeks fired tens of thousands of federal workers across numerous agencies in a series of blanket terminations. A federal judge and the chair of a federal civil service board have both concluded that the terminations were not tied to performance issues and may have violated civil service laws. Lo and behold, shocking that you can't just say all probationary employees are now fired and then claim that it's for performance issues. It is unclear whether the new guidance will result in laid-off workers getting rehired. They have already forcibly had to rehire a bunch of laid-off workers from the Department of Energy, for example, the nuke people, the people that are in charge of the nukes, because that's what the Department of Energy is in charge of as well. The nuclear arsenal. They had to immediately rehire them after firing them. They had to immediately rehire the people that were working on the aviation flew at a time when obviously aviation flew is ripping through our poultry stock and causing egg prices to skyrocket. What did I say? Didn't I say avian flu? Did I say aviation flu? Oh, God. I got aviation on the mind. Another area where Trump has demonstrated, his administration has demonstrated spectacular failure is the FAA. But yes, I meant avian flu. But aviation flu is also a different thing. It's when planes fall out of the sky. Yo, hope you have a great day, Hasan. Hey, Pokelaws, you too, brother. Aviation flu happens when you don't have at least one gay pilot. Yeah. Trump, globalists are behind stock market sell-off. Okay, give me the live feed. Who has the link to the live feed for Trump? Trump is speaking. Trump is speaking. My goat is speaking. It's time to listen to my goat. It's time to hear out my goat. Where is he? Where is he being unhinged? I need to hear him. God damn, dude. Holy shit.